Hi team, Colin Jacobs, property strategist from Property Friends. It's been a while, so I wanted to provide a bit of an update on a subject matter that is very dear to my heart, and that is the National Disability Insurance Scheme, or NDIS, specifically the SDA, Specialist Disability Accommodation. I am absolutely amazed about the misinformation that is out there. So here's my endeavor. I wanted to, and I will over the next couple of days, provide a number of small videos so that we can all get our information right and proper and correct in regard to the NDIS. So I'm going to start off with what is the NDIS, what's the SDA, or Specialist Disability Accommodation first. We'll look at the benefits, how does it all work, is it a curse or a cure, and then comes the big one, the advantages or disadvantages, how to do your due diligence. It is absolutely astounding to me what the spruikers are doing in that subject. Anyway, I won't get ahead of my time. I won't get ahead of what I want to talk about. So, and then of course we'll do a Q&A session. It is my intent, if there is sufficient interest out there, and I already know there is, what we'll do is we'll do a webinar with a summary of these videos and a Q&A session. It is absolutely astounding, the misinformation and the, I guess, questions, the uncertainty about this subject. So let's kick it off. The NDIS, what is this beast? The National Disability Insurance Scheme is a government scheme that has been enacted to get proper help, support for people with disability. Specifically, the SDA, Specialist Disability Accommodation, is in essence to get people out of substandard accommodation into purpose-built houses or apartments where their needs are met. And that is really the root cause of the problem. There are a lot of people in substandard or not correct, not fitting accommodation for their needs. For example, there are young people in retirement homes simply because there are no places out there for them to live on their own, to live independent, and or to live with others that are matching their age group, that are matching their desires, their way of living. And that just had to change. So this is where the NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, came in a number of years ago. It is fair to say that it is one of the most misunderstood government support schemes that are out there. The government has been doing very well in enacting this scheme. There are $22 billion set aside over the next 20 years to get things right. And I'm really happy to work in this sector. I'm really happy to support the participants because, and even if I sound on the risk of sounding corny, we can make a difference. And I like that idea. So The whole thing revolves around providing accommodation. The SDA, Specialist Disability Accommodation, revolves around providing accommodation for people with disabilities. There are a lot of operators out there that are getting into this field, into this market niche. And as always, caveat emptor, buyer beware. Done right, to summarize, in my view, it is a great opportunity to make a difference. It is a great opportunity to do the right thing. And last but not least, it is also a great investment opportunity. The reason is the gracious government support makes it very interesting from a rental yield point of view, and also provided you select the right team, you can effectively set up a 20-year rental and up to 20-year rental, because that's how long this scheme is planned for, with extremely high rental returns. As usual, there are some bugbears, there are some obstacles, some details in the scheme that make it quite challenging. Hence, make sure whatever you do that you work with people that and companies that you have checked out and that do the right thing. Let me summarize it like that. It is amazing to me the misinformation that is being spruiked. There are people and companies out there that say that you can make 15 to 20% like that for 20 years, no problems. And that is true in theory. The NDIS, SDA properties can return 15%, just as many things are possible in theory. So don't be blinded. Do your research, do your due diligence. In my view, doing it right and accounting for the additional cost in the scheme, accounting for the additional registrations, which are quite arduous and quite complex. Property Friends is becoming a SDA provider. We're in the final steps of getting that. A process that, by the way, is costing us $10,000 and some. And a process that requires a mountain of paperwork, procedures that not only need to be written, and here comes the big one, that need to be followed and lived. And this is where a lot of companies and organizations are doing the wrong thing. They just want to rape and pillage, and Property Friends is not one of those. Anyone that knows me for that knows me for doing the right thing and doing things right. So, as an opening, I'll leave it at that. Please provide comments. If you have questions, provide the questions underneath. And I'll be happy to answer those. And that shall conclude today, and we'll go next into the benefits.